My name is Rebecca Rodriguez, and by completing this assignment, I have figured out the three most important influences in my life, which are taste, convenience, and emotions. As a child, I developed a key influence in my life, which is taste. Growing up in Venezuela, my grandfather always prepared home-cooked meals that were so rich in flavor. That helped develop a specific standard when it comes to evaluating food. Some of my most important criteria are flavor, presentation, and smell. At the moment, convenience plays a big role in my life. Being a full-time student and maintaining a full-time job can be both stressful and challenging, especially when it comes to preparing a meal from scratch. By the time I get home, the ambition of preparing a home-cooked meal is the last thing on my mind. That being said, having to eat at restaurants, most of the times fast food places, is more convenient considering my recent change in lifestyle. Juggling my busy schedule can be overwhelming at times. When I have a stressful day, I really lose my sense of appetite for the entire day. Even though I know I should eat because it's a healthy thing to do, my body just has no desire for food because I am too astounded. The complete opposite happens when I have a good day. I usually tend to go for the comfort foods, which always tend to be unhealthy. The least most important influences in my life are cost, nutrients, and habits. Price is not really an issue when it comes to receiving a tasteful meal. My husband and I treat ourselves to a nice dinner every once in a while. Over the years, we have realized that good quality food is worth the expense. We would much rather have quality feast than a cheap bland meal. Nutrition knowledge has never been one of my strongest attributes. Being lucky enough to have a great metabolism, I have never had to worry about watching what I eat on a regular basis. My husband's family eats a lot of fried food, which I know is not healthy for you, but I still quite enjoy. I have never been one to have good eating habits. Instead of eating breakfast in the mornings, I would much rather have those extra 5 minutes of sleep. Or if it gets too chaotic at work, most of the times I will skip lunch in order to get caught up. There has been multiple times when I go to bed with only one meal in my stomach. A critical time when I knew I had to give up one of my most important influences is when I decided to go back to school. Even though I was taught that taste was a very important factor, I had to make a decision. While enjoying good food is my favorite part of the day, starting a career is my priority. If I have to give up making home-cooked meals in order to have time to study, I will have to make that sacrifice. Having all A's will be rewarding after all. My dad happens to be my boss, which means we get to interact daily. Considering the fact that we have lunch together, I have noticed the most important influences in his food choices, which are nutrients, habits, and cost. Having to raise a family of 6 can make a dent in your wallet, but being able to provide is my dad's priority. Substituting known brands for cheaper brands was the first option, which to him is all the same. He believes you pay extra for the brand name. Ever since he was a little boy, he was taught the importance of breakfast. This habit carried through all his life. Even if it takes 5 minutes out of his time, he will stop what he's doing in order to have the first meal of the day. Nutritional knowledge has become an important factor in my dad's life. Suffering from high cholesterol has impacted his life in many different ways. In order to be healthier and feel better, he knew he had to remove all unhealthy foods out of his life. He started researching better eating habits and diets until he found a book that changed his way of life. The least important factors in his life are convenience, advertising, and emotions. Convenience is not a factor for him. Having a strict diet rules about more than half of the places he used to frequent out of the way, which leaves him to make his own food at home and bring it to work. This was a sacrifice he made in order to feel better, and if it takes 10 extra minutes to fix a healthy meal, then he's up for it. Advertising is a huge no in my dad's life. He wants to be able to have his own choices and not feel heavily influenced by ads on TV or menus. Imagining what food is going to look like or taste like is better than being disappointed after reading or seeing what the ad promised. Emotions do not play a role in his eating schedule. If it has been a stressful day at work, it does not matter. Having 3 meals will always be a priority. Even if he is mad or sad or extremely happy, the thing about him is that he enjoys food so much he will not give it up for any type of emotions. I believe there is a higher chance for my dad to influence me into his direction than the other way around. If I did follow his steps, the outcome could be great. I could be healthier, happier, learn to have discipline, and more knowledge about what I should eat. Perhaps I will stop feeling so tired and eat foods that give me the energy I need.